Workout number 2 of the third week of February. We got 4 different cycles or main portions of the workout to get through, so a lot of different movements in this workout, and about an hour's time period is the goal. Getting warmed up, we're just going to do the echo bike or the air bike for about 5 minutes. This should get us nice and loose, not any major stretching. If there is any extra stretching, if you're going to tighten any area, make sure you get that done in that 5-minute warm-up period, and then we'll get straight into the workout. 3 different 9-minute cycles, and then the final cycle is 11 minutes, and then finishing off with 8 minutes of static stretching. First cycle, you got 2 sets, 45 seconds on, 15 off, with 1 minute rest between sets. First movement, you got your kettlebell SDLs. So we're lowering those kettlebells to the ground, trying to keep our legs as straight as possible. We're not forcing our knees to bend, just trying to stick our butt out a lot on those SDLs. That would be more of an RDL. Second movement, kettlebell cleans. We're using kettlebells for all 4 of the first cycle. Through the legs, cleaning up to the shoulders, trying to have the majority of the weight land on those delts so we don't have any major weight landing on our wrists. Third movement, kettlebell goblet squats. Dropping one of the kettlebells, just holding onto one, hitting good depth on every squat. 45 seconds is a long time to do goblet squats, so make sure you pick a weight that's doable to be working during the whole work period, and then you can rest for your 15 seconds. Final movement, this is probably the easiest of the 4 kettlebells, is figure 8s, going through the legs, catching, switching hands behind us. 45 seconds on, 15 off, then we rest a minute. After the first cycle, same exact set and rep breakdown for 9-minute cycle, 4 different movements, all with dumbbells this time. Thrusters is first, from a full squat straight into an overhead press. Explode up with the legs so that's not all arms. After that, clean and press. Laterally from the side, hinging at the waist, up to the shoulders, pressing overhead. This is a very dynamic movement with lots of moving parts, but you should be able to do relatively heavy weight for the clean and press. If you need a couple of different sets of dumbbells for some different weights, absolutely utilize those for this workout so you get a good challenge. Third movement, renegade rows. Very difficult. I have my feet a little bit wider than normal just for some extra stability. Hitting row, row, and then the push-up. For the row itself, make sure you're drawing those elbows towards the hip. They're not flaring out too much away from our body so that we can really engage the lat on those rows. You're not going to be able to go too heavy from this position. See, my shoulders are not greatly rotating on those rows after I hit my push-up. Final movement, strict overhead press. This is all arms. This is why you don't want to tire yourself out too much with those thrusters. Holding those dumbbells, strict overhead, no legs involved. Third cycle, very dynamic, some explosive movements here. Explosive portion of the HIIT training. Broad jumps first, 45 seconds on, 15 off. Turn around when you need to for space. After that, we hit our box jumps. This may be a little high for this workout if you want to go consistently for the whole 45 seconds, but maybe not. If you're in really good shape, can jump pretty high. Box jumps for 45 seconds. After that, we got pistol squats. You see me holding onto each foot. This is your tough version. You can always hit a regress pistol squat if there's something next to you that you can hold on to, possibly a TRX. Here you see me grabbing the TRX there, just for some extra stability so I can hit some good pistol squats at good depth with a little bit of balance involved. Even if you just have a ledge or a rack or something to hold on to make those pistol squats doable. Final movement, walkouts from a front leaning rest. Just slowly walking those hands out in front of us, keeping the butt down, core engaged, and then walking back up. It's a very challenging core exercise. Final cycle after you hit your 3-minute rest. We've got 6 different movements in this cycle, just 1 set for all 6 movements. We're going 60 seconds on and then 60 seconds rest. All right, so you're working fast, getting a 50-50 work to rest ratio. All right, first movement, double dumbbell overhead swing. Then we got our bicep curls. We're going to hit all the major upper body muscle groups with this dumbbell final cycle. Dumbbell tricep kickbacks. You see the top of my arm portion is parallel to the ground. Just the bottom portion of my arm is swinging like a pendulum. I like to lean on something, hold a rack, hold a chair, whatever you have available to you, just so you can hit a nice angle for that tricep. See me opening up the legs so that it's not in the way. Hips not getting in the way of that swing. working the short head of the tricep in that shortened position. After that, we got our dumbbell lateral raise, working the delts. Standing, not trying to use too much swing as we raise those dumbbells so we can get good isolation and engagement of the deltoids. After that, we got our dumbbell floor press. Should be able to go fairly heavy on this one. Just 1 minute for one set. Pressing up, your elbows can't go any lower than the ground, so you know where your stopping point is. Try not to involve the legs as much as possible. You can go flat or bend them, doesn't really matter, as long as you're hitting a good quality press each time. Final movement of the workout, dumbbell lawnmowers. Here again, I'm leaning forward just like those tricep kickbacks, and I'm drawing that elbow to the hip. Go heavy on this one. You should be able to lift a very good amount. Be very strong in those lats and those pull muscles. Should be able to pull some heavy weight. If you're holding it below you, there's not much movement involved. Go heavy on this one. Finishing off the workout, you got an 8-minute static stretch. Get some good quality recovery at the end.